Tonight, Ebola training is coming to DeKalb, why Greek Row will be seeing new light, and we'll see how NIU scientists are sitting on top of the bottom of the world. NTC News Tonight starts now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
Since the first case of Ebola hit the U.S., people want to know how they can protect themselves. Good evening, I'm Kyle Jacobs.
And I'm Amber Luckett. DeKalb Firefighters are taking precautions to make sure the community is safe. NTC reporter Keisha Howerth has more on the training being done for potential Ebola outbreaks.
Make sure that you have your hood up.
Assistant Fire Chief Jeff McMaster helps firefighters put on the hoods of their jumpsuits, making sure as much of their skin is covered. The DeKalb Fire Department began training for Ebola last month, where firefighters learned how to handle a potential outbreak.
The firefighters are going to be the very first people that come in contact with Ebola patients, and we want to make sure that they're properly protected.
And to make sure they know how to protect themselves, firefighters have to learn how to properly put on their gear. Before approaching anyone who is suspected or known to have Ebola, firefighters have to layer on a jumpsuit, an apron, 2 pairs of rubber gloves, a mask, and goggles. In addition to learning how to protect themselves, firefighters are learning how to prepare an ambulance for an Ebola patient. To transport an Ebola patient, firefighters have to outline the inside of the ambulance with plastic. Here they have labeled the different places where to put the plastic, such as the side with the driver or the side over here. And to put the plastic on the walls, firefighters use duct tape to make sure every inch of the inside is covered.
Easily tear this away from you.
Most of the fire department has gone through the Ebola training, but preparation for a possible incident continues as the CDC releases new information.
As new information comes out that changes the way we proceed with a patient with Ebola, we will update our procedures for dealing with them.
And as their procedures are updated, the firefighters have been able to pick up what they've learned about Ebola as they would for any other incident they train for.
We come to work and we train every day, so it's really been no different than, any new challenge that we overcome every year.
Though the firefighters are confident in overcoming a potential Ebola outbreak, they hope that their training stays in the classroom. In DeKalb, I'm Keisha Howerth, NTC News.
While firefighters are preparing for Ebola, Crime Stoppers are looking for suspects in connection to the theft of diesel fuel. A diesel fuel theft occurred at the Mayfield Township building on Church Road west of Sycamore over Halloween weekend. At least 200 gallons of diesel fuel has been stolen.
If you park a car in an area of NIU's New Hall, you might want to be on the lookout. Police are investigating another rash of catalytic converter thefts from cars, this time in the parking lots of XO just off Regent Drive. Whoever is doing it has to get under the car to reach the converters, which is connected to the exhaust system. If you have any information on these thefts, you can call Crime Stoppers at 815-895-3272.
An NIU student has been arrested for possession of child pornography. 32-year-old Kareem El-Ganzuri lives in Sycamore. He has been charged with 10 counts of child pornography after a 2-month investigation.
DeKalb's only adult entertainment store is changing their image. The 30-year-old store is changing its name from Paperback Grotto to Lover's Playground. The name change was finalized with the owners putting up a sign above their store with the new name. Lover's Playground is trying to reach out to more customers.
Speaking of changes in DeKalb, Greek Row will be looking a little brighter by next month. 16 street lights will be added to the Greek Row area to improve safety. The lights were a request made by the City of DeKalb and police. The lights will cost $800 a month as part of a rental plan from ComEd.
Former Sycamore firefighters are trying to restore a piece of the town's history. The Sycamore Preservation Company wants to raise $25,000 to restore their first motorized fire pumper truck, the one you see here. They are accepting a $2,500 grant from DeKalb Community Foundation. They tracked down the truck and bought it from an Indiana man in 2001.
We call parade ready. Nice paint job, some pinstriping, lettering on it. Get it to run, so hopefully we can drive it in the local parade.
There will be a pancake breakfast fundraiser and an open house this Saturday at the Sycamore Fire Station number 1.
DeKalb military veterans braved the cold and the wind for our first ever Veterans Day parade yesterday afternoon.
This is also the 60th anniversary of NIU's Veterans Association. NTC's Desney Norton shares with us just how much our vets mean to us.
This is the sound that honors DeKalb community veterans. While the Reserve Officer Training Corporation raises the American flag, the NIU Veterans Association celebrates their 60th anniversary with a luncheon.
It is a great endeavor anytime to see a group of people come together for any type of purpose and to see others from the community come and support as well. I'm looking forward to the parade, although it's cold, but to get in touch with other veterans, whatever the case may be, and spreading our wings, making our presence known on campus.
After talking to a couple of vets, they were proud to say that the new technology makes military life better.
During the war, that was altogether different. But we're making progress over all these years and getting high technology now. Before it was, the foot soldier, the sailor, and sea battles and all that kind of stuff. But we've made great progress.
And after a clean march in the cold and a song piece of the Star-Spangled Banner, veterans and their families made their way to Altgeld Hall for a hot meal. I'm standing here in Altgeld Hall celebrating the 60th anniversary of NIU's Veterans Association. As you can see behind me, we have veterans and their families celebrating just by eating the nice food that they've prepared for us in celebration of the commitment to our country, their commitment to service, and their dedication. My name is Desney Norton with NTC News. Back to you.
Get more information about the NIU Veterans Association on NIU's website.
It's good to know the cold weather didn't keep us out from honoring our veterans.
Emery Dhanens is here now to tell us if we're ever going to see a break from that bitter cold. So Emery, what's in store?
Unfortunately, we're not going to get a break from the cold, and it might even get colder. But first, let's take a look at tomorrow's temperatures. Tomorrow, we'll expect much of the northern part of Illinois to experience temperatures around freezing, and some areas such as Rockford, Chicago, and possibly DeKalb may see some flurries. For more on the cold weather to come, stay with us.
And after weather, scientists make history chasing down a comet. We'll explain.
Hungry, it's your lucky day. I'm the Feed 'em Soup Fairy. Come with me to Feed 'em Soup.
Nourishing and empowering our community.
Tales Animal Shelter have a lot of cats and dogs that need loving, nurturing, and playful homes. By participating in the foster program, you can give these adorable animals a taste of how it is to be brought home and loved. The shelter will provide food, a bed for the animal to sleep in, and a healthy, happy puppy or kitten. If you're iffy about fostering or adopting an animal, or bored, or need a study break, just visit and play with the animals at Tales. Meet your new best friend today.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've all been staying warm these past couple of days. It's been so cold, it feels like we skipped right over fall and went straight to winter. Today, we're only expected to reach a high of 31 degrees, which is 20 degrees below average for this time of year. Also, our overnight low of about 20 almost ties the record that we set last year of 18 degrees. So that cold weather is very unusual for this time of year. Taking a look at our local weather cam, we see those overcast skies. It's pretty windy out there, giving us a wind chill of about 26 degrees. And unfortunately, this cold weather will stick around as we look at this cold air pulling down all the way into Texas before it moves off the East Coast. Unfortunately for us, we're stuck in the cold section the whole time. Then moving on to tonight, we have almost the whole country that'll see below freezing temperatures, some places as cold as negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you thought that was cold, just wait until Sunday when we have another cold front coming through the area, which will bring down this huge Arctic air mass that'll bring the below normal temperatures. But let's move back on to tonight, where we'll see those cloudy skies. Pretty windy again, gusts up to 20 miles per hour and an overnight low of about 20 degrees. Then tomorrow, more clouds. We'll have a chance of flurries in the morning, winds dying down a little bit, and an expected high of 29 degrees. Then tomorrow evening, more clouds, another chance of flurries before 1 a.m., and the winds are dying down to 10 miles per hour, so that's kind of nice, giving us an overnight low of about 18 degrees. And moving on to our 7-day weather forecast, we see on Thursday that chance for flurries, high of 29, then Friday and Saturday getting a little sunnier, back up near 30, but then Saturday night we have a chance of snow that'll continue into Sunday. Then next week we have temperatures in the low 20s and that picking back up into 32 with some hopefully sunny skies on Wednesday. That's all for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
Investigators want to know what's behind a fire started in a religious temple.
And a convicted murderer serving life in prison wins big in court. Let's take a look at what's the news making headlines in today's State Lines.
State and federal investigators are looking into a fire that caused heavy damages to an Island Lake religious building late last night. No one was in the Guru Nanak Sikh mission at the time of the alarm. The cause of the fire is unknown at this time.
A former handyman who is serving life in prison for the murder of 7 people is getting nearly $250,000 after winning a lawsuit. A guard punched James Degorski the same day he was jailed for the 1993 killings at a Brown's Chicken restaurant in Palatine.
The counting continues, and Republican Tom Cross's lead increased slightly over Democratic Mike Freerichs in the race for Illinois State Treasurer. The 500-vote advantage is small when compared to the 3 1/3 million votes casted. The candidates are currently split by a tiny 1/1000th of a percentage point.
The Red Cross says recovery efforts are continuing in parts of Illinois hit by deadly tornadoes a year ago. There are still nearly 500 active cases being addressed. Storms in November last year damaged or destroyed hundreds of homes in central Illinois towns such as Washington and Gifford. That's today's State Lines.
European space scientists celebrate a historical moment today.
And President Obama strikes an agreement with China to cut air pollution. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
For the first time in history, a spacecraft from the Earth has landed on a comet speeding through deep space. The European Space Agency's probe on the Rosetta spacecraft made its landing on the comet today and immediately attached itself to the landscape. The landing ended what some scientists have called the 7 hours of terror.
President Obama has announced a climate change agreement with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The deal would cut the greenhouse gas emissions of both countries by close to 1/3 over the next 2 decades. The White House says this marks the first time China has agreed to cut its carbon emissions.
Congress begins its so-called lame duck session today. They'll try to wrap up pending legislation before Republicans take control of the Senate next year. Some of the issues on the agenda include a must-pass bill to fund the government, bills to arm Syrian rebels, and extending expiring tax breaks.
And in Texas, a moving tribute yesterday from a son to his father, and from one former president to another. George W. Bush unveiled a new biography of his father, George H.W. Bush. The elder Bush and his wife Barbara were on hand for the unveiling of the book and the emotional reflections from their son. And that's today's World Watch.
A big change in the MAC West standings following last night's football game between Toledo and Northern Illinois. Hi, I'm Dan Kenny for NTC Sports. The NIU Huskies needed to beat the Toledo Rockets last night to take control of their own destiny in the Mid-American Conference, and that's exactly what they did. NIU won the game 27-24 and now can win the MAC West by winning out the rest of the season. There was also a hockey game last night at the United Center between the Blackhawks and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Already early in the third period, score tied 1-1 when Nicholas Hjalmarsson shot from the blue line gets redirected in front of Marcus Kruger. The replay angle shows that Kruger got a piece of the puck to get it past the goalie. Later in that period, Brent Seabrook hits the ref with the puck, allowing Jonathan Druin starting a quick passing play to give Nikita Kucherov an open net to slap the puck into. The game would stay tied through regulation and overtime to force a shootout. Patrick Kane, of course, with his usual stick handling, brings it to his backhand and roofs the shot over Ben Bishop. Steven Stamkos to answer to continue the shootout, but Corey Crawford makes a nice recovery to steal the game for the Hawks. From the ice to the hardwood, let's take a look at the Bulls game from Monday night. Derrick Rose returned Monday after missing the past two games. Bulls are up early in the first as D. Rose catches the ball in midcourt, takes two dribbles, gets hacked, and scores the and-one layup. Detroit forward Greg Monroe nails the rainbow jumper over the top of Joakim Noah. But don't blink, the Bulls inbound quickly, get the ball in Rose's hands as he quickly crosses over Josh Smith, zips a sweet pass to Pau Gasol, and lets him do the rest. Fast forward now to the fourth quarter. D. Rose bounces off a Noah screen and drives to the hole as he tosses up a layup like only D. Rose can. Bulls win the game 102-91 in Rose's return. We're all done here for sports. Let's bring it back to the desk.
Coming up, find out why an NIU scientist is heading off to the coldest place on Earth.
A team led by NIU scientists plans to explore Western Antarctica.
NTC's Dan Kenny tells us what this team plans on doing that's never been done before.
The receding Western Antarctic ice sheet is undocumented territory scientists believe can have a significant effect on climate change and the rising of sea waters. NIU professor Ross Powell is going to Antarctica for his 14th time. He is leading a team of 50 scientists from many universities to be the first team ever to conduct scientific research on this 35-million-year-old sheet of ice. The problem is they need to dig to the bottom of this ice sheet, which is thicker than the Empire State Building is tall. Their solution is a special drill.
It's not a standard sort of drill where normally you think of a drill going round and round in circles. This is actually, what we do is use hot water. We have a little bobcat loader that goes around and scoops up all the snow on the surface and dumps it into the melter. And then that melter pumps the water into steam heaters that then heat the water to steam temperatures. And then that is pumped down by what is basically a fire hose, and that jets steam heated water vertically downwards, and it just melts a hole through the ice.
Unfortunately, that drill and all of their equipment from Davis Hall has already been shipped out to Antarctica. The only thing that is left is their Arctic gear. During their expedition, temperatures can reach anywhere from 20 degrees to negative 20 degrees. That's why they're required to wear all of this gear that I have on, including these bear claws, which are basically gloves with fur on the side. The function of these bear claws is to basically suck up, wipe off any snot, mucus, or liquid that you have on your face. Once the team lands and sets everything up, they will have an 8-day window to conduct their research. According to Professor Reed Scherer, if the ice sheet continues to melt, it can raise water levels by 15 feet.
With studying Antarctica, it's kind of like studying Mars. We've got one little sample here, and we've got one little sample somewhere else, and putting together the whole picture is still based on very, very little available data. So it takes a big operation.
The team takes off towards this chilly $30 million expedition right after Christmas. In DeKalb, this is Dan Kenny, NTC News.
Well, at least it looks like they'll be all bundled up for the expedition.
Oh, they will be, Amber. The team leaves right after Christmas and won't return until early February.
Can't wait to see what they find. NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. We want to thank you all for being with us.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back the same time next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.